And he was saying on these Broncos, the hill descent binds up that front axle, basically.
Huh.
And explodes it. I'm like, good thing I wasn't using it.
Dude.
But you can use it, like if you're towing a trailer. We recording? Good.
Yeah, it's already
If you're
started.
towing a trailer, you can use it for that, and it'll keep you from accelerating too far when you're shifting, especially with the manual. Like it'll slow you down like an automatic.
In the words of Spock, fascinating.
Well, this is the car ride home after seeing Strays. Warning, do not listen to this if you don't like the word fuck
Fuck.
a lot. And
Fetch and fuck.
And also, like, cum and dicks.
Oh my god,
It
so
was
many dicks.
full of cum and dicks.
It was basically like Ted,
The word.
but with actual dogs.
Not quite as funny as Ted.
No.
So, first off, not rating it, but like, just a little comparison. The moon is amazing. It is not as funny as Ted,
No.
but it's as dirty. For dirty's sake, you know.
Yeah.
But it's
super silly.
It's so silly and doesn't take itself seriously.
Absolutely not.
And that's what you need for a thing like this. It's the first R-rated dog movie, whatever. You know? So it's like the one, Homeward Bound and Benji. Basically, it was all about Benjis. Like, I remember growing up with the Benji movies.
Oh yeah, my gosh, I didn't even think about that, but he does. He harkens back to Benji.
Yeah. So that was the thing I grew up with, was Benji movies and stuff, and the Homeward Bounds, and dog, a cat, and a raccoon, whatever, trying to make it back, whatever.
I would say if you're a dog owner who is cool with irreverent, silly humor, you are gonna fucking love this movie. It's awesome.
Yeah, and if you want to see a bad dog owner.
Oh my god. Yes, they stare
okay,
at...
so full spoilers and everything.
Yeah.
The dude does get his dick bit off.
Yeah.
There's no suspense there. It happens.
Yeah,
it's so good.
But by the end, you're like, nah, you're getting your dick bit off, and I don't think anyone has a problem with that right now. It's they made a really good, like, this is the worst possible human ever who is responsible for an animal. So yeah, you're like, get him. But it was really good, and awesome humor, awesome voicing. Voice acting was great. Will Farrell, Jamie Foxx were kind of the main dudes.
Randall Park. So I was like, I couldn't place the Great Dane.
Yeah, exactly.
Randall Park. I mean, he's got such a, and now I can't say bland, but just a
garden variety.
Not even that.
Every day.
Camouflaged voice.
I kept thinking I
couldn't play it.
I'm like, it's not Ryan Reynolds. I know that. But yeah, I just it was good. He voiced it really well.
Yeah. And
Isla Fisher, I think, was the collie.
Yeah. Is it Isla or Isla?
I don't know. ISLA.
I always say Isla Fisher. But I mean, she's married to Borat, right? So,
And then, of course, you had... I loved it, too, because they did give accents to, like, the dogs that were from certain areas. So there's a British bulldog, and he's all British. And it was... the invisible fence was amazing.
The invisible fence bit, peeing on it, digging.
Mushrooms.
Dude, the mushroom scene, they find some rabbits. Oh, these are stuffed animals.
Oh my god, I was like, these are not stuffed animals. That was so amazing. Murray, and that's not his name, but he was Murray in Stranger Things is in it, which made me happy. And a cameo by Dennis Quaid.
The Dennis Quaid cameo came out of left field. And he's a bird watcher. He's like, oh, and he like names the bird, and then he opens his notebook to like check it off, and it just says bird. Stupid. This movie is
so
dumber than a bag of hammers.
Yeah, it's not.
And it's so much fun.
It's not cerebral.
Had a great time.
Yeah, it was so fun.
But like the Dennis Quaid thing, if you guys, all 13 people who ever listened to this.
It's more than that.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, 13 people listened to it twice.
Okay.
And, I have no way for you to comment on this or anything like that. So leave in the comments below is what they would say on the YouTubes, but we're not doing that. It's like, it was literally like a record scratch. And then you're just like, oh, that was amazing.
And then I hurt my hand because at one point I was startled so hard by a moment.
And it was in the trailer.
And I don't, but I think I've seen the trailer once, and I was like, oh, that looks cute. I didn't remember that part. No, it was really good. But yeah, I think I'm gonna tell my mom to go see it. I think she will crack up. This is her dog movie, and she doesn't mind irreverent stuff. She'll crack up.
Yeah, anybody who loves dogs,
you're gonna love it.
Will love this movie.
Yeah.
If you love cats, you love this movie. It's about dogs. You know, there's a couple of cats in there, but they don't say anything. It's like, I wonder if they were supposed to say something and just didn't. But Jamie Foxx's dog, was hilarious, and the voice acting is like they must have had the trainers on set, and then the voice actors come in and do stuff on him. But I will say something that's amazing in this movie, and I would not be surprised if it was actually Oscar nominated, because the Oscars are pieces of shit anyway. Remember, this is an R-rated podcast. The Oscars go fuck themselves, and all the producers too. The Oscars are just dumb. But awards for visual effects, because when the dogs start talking to other dogs, their mouths are mouthing English words.
Yeah, it's great.
And it's seamless.
Yeah, you don't, when you first see it happen, it's like, oh, okay, he's talking now, but it's not weird. Immediately you're like, okay, cool.
It's definitely weird when they're having sex with the gnome and the owl.
Yes.
That's really weird.
But also, what does Doug call? I danced on his legs. You're not dancing. That's not dancing.
That's not
No,
dancing.
Jamie Foxx is great. Some of these lines too, the writing was great. There was one line which I will never forget, because they see a billboard with a postman on it, and the dog just immediately is like, you fucker, you motherfucker. I don't think you smell like many houses, and I can't trust that. And I was like, oh my God. That's why they hate the postman.
Yeah, I would definitely see this again. But yeah, the special effects on it, the story is in the trailer.
Yeah.
Really asshole owner tries to get rid of a dog because, he kept the dog because his ex-girlfriend wanted to keep the dog. Just a bad person. Just a bad human being all the way around.
Yeah.
And then tries to dump the dog in the city. Gets what's coming to him in the end.
Yep.
And that's really it. It's kind of a buddy movie, so nothing original except for the dirtiness of it.
And there's even a Hitler reference. I mean, they pack it all in. It's really all there.
They do pack it in, but the amount of dick references was a little overwhelming.
And it's funny because I don't know where you all will see this. We saw it at the Alamo Draft House here in Littleton, Colorado, at Aspen Grove. But there's a preview before it that was the Dicks, the musical. So,
we're talking about previews on this one. We're gonna see Dicks the musical.
Yes, we are, because that looks
wow.
Same
Didn't even
creator
know this
of Borat
movie existed until this preview.
Nope. And Megan Mullally's in it. I gotta go see her.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got to see that. Yeah, some of the previews were really good. So definitely, but they were very much appropriate for the movie we saw, because it's just it's an R-rated. A lot of fucks and a lot of dicks.
If we're seeing a raunchy movie like this, we're going to have a raunchy podcast. It's kind of how it goes.
Yeah, if it fits the movie.
Yeah. But I'm not sure when our next ride home. Our next ride home might be from Steamboat Springs.
That's right.
Just on a little vacation weekend. Talking about the weekend. We'll see. We might not even be in the same vehicle for that. Who knows?
I know.
But yeah, I would definitely recommend this. We're going to rate it now before we continue any talks. I'm giving it 7 inches of Great Dane dick.
Okay.
There's a reference in the movie.
And why 7 out of 10? Why 7?
Because, there's some parts in it where it's bad. But then you're like, oh, did they mean it to be bad or not? It just ended up being bad. But then it was like, it doesn't make the movie any worse. It just has some bad parts. And it's not original other than the raunchiness of it.
Yeah. It's kind of like Bolt, but the owner's the dick.
If it was R-rated.
Yeah. All right. I'll also give it 7 out of 10 shits on the floor.
Oh, that was a good one.
Oh my gosh. And I can almost, it's funny because when he's like, I can taste it. And I'm like, I feel like I can smell it. It's like there's so much shit.
Like, I can taste it. And I'm like, ugh. I literally.
Did you get a little dry heavey?
I dry heaved a little bit on that one.
I dry heaved when the dog started. He's like, oh, I'm so hungry. One of the dogs throws up. He's like, well, I might have some stuff in there. So the other dog starts eating his vomit. And I'm like, okay, I can't. I don't know. But hopefully that indicates to you, if you haven't picked up on it yet, it's a silly, dirty, raunchy, explicit movie.
And it does not take itself seriously.
Not
There's a
at
line
all.
in there. It's like, what the fuck? Am I in a dog movie?
I
would
would
actually say that in the movie. It's like, thank you for not taking it so seriously.
I would love to have been in the room when Jamie Foxx and Will Farrell and probably the others are recording together, because...
Oh, I don't know if they did. I mean, this is like... I wouldn't be surprised if they're all separated.
Maybe.
But this is a movie where they really could have used the 4 actors in the same room.
Oh my God. But it's great. They did a great job, and I don't know. I just like the ensemble was really solid, I thought.
Yeah, it was really funny.
The ensemble of dogs was
Definitely
very solid.
recommend.
Yes.
It was not a rough week this week, but it was like
it's just
a weird
yeah,
movie.
It's a good escape movie that you don't have to take seriously and just laugh about it later and, have some popcorn and beer.
Yeah, to oppose this to like the last couple movies we've seen, there was the whole Barbenheimer thing, right? Reviving the box office, and Strays fell by the wayside, made $1.75. But Barbie has like an underlining, theme to it.
Yeah, it does actually get cerebral.
Yeah, there's a point to it.
Yeah.
And Oppenheimer is Oppenheimer.
Yes, that's very
It's
serious.
about something that is, you've got to have a doctorate level degree and then security clearance to even work on this stuff. And they're talking about that, right? So a little bit different. This is the complete opposite of that. It's so good.
Yeah, and obviously not a kid's movie.
No.
Not in any way a kid's movie.
It's rated R, and as you want to parent.
Teenagers probably okay, but
our youngest would not enjoy it because she doesn't like profanity.
And she also hates dogs.
And does not hate dogs, but is not a dog person.
She's not a fan.
But not a hater. Not a hater.
Okay.
Just doesn't hate dogs. She'll admit she doesn't hate dogs, just doesn't like them.
Okay.
Just not a dog person. But, when our son was 15, this would have been the movie for him to see.
Yeah.
He would have totally have dug seeing...
Doug.
Doug.
Yeah, it was really good. It was fun. Fun time. And it's funny because, the other night when you were like, hey, do you want to go... What was the other choice? You gave me a choice between 2 movies.
Oh.
Strays and some teenage...
Oh, Bottoms.
Yeah. And you described the movies, and immediately I'm like, I don't want to see Bottoms. Strays is going to be the winner here. And because I knew...
It was mindless.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, I'd rather watch dogs be silly than teenagers be silly. So.
Yeah. So, we're almost home. 7 out of 10 is a good rating, I think. It probably was panned critically, but like a real film critic would have definitely panned it and given it, 2s or 3s at best. Mm-hmm. But we're not film critics.
No.
I've taken film criticism and film history, and it's like,
as have I.
I don't believe film critics have a role in society.
Wait,
frankly.
so you're not going to go do a scarf and smoke a pipe and get on Yelp and or whatever the web.
No.
IMDb.
Siskel and Ebert can stick their thumbs up their ass. I used to like watching those and took them somewhat seriously until I started critically looking at what they were looking at, and all film criticism does is take the fun out of movies.
Well, fuck it.
Exactly.
All right, enjoy. Thank you all for listening. We're home, and this has been the car ride home. So here we are. Thank you all.
Bam.
Bye.